Miles Davis, a name synonymous with jazz. He was a trumpeter, a bandleader, and a composer. Davis was an innovator, a fashion icon, and a cultural figure. His music transcended genres and generations. He remains one of the most influential figures in jazz history. Born in 1926, Davis's journey began in Alton, Illinois. He later rose to prominence in the heart of New York City. His career spanned 5 decades. Davis redefined jazz music multiple times. He challenged conventions and pushed boundaries. From bebop to cool jazz, modal jazz to fusion, Davis was always at the forefront. He collaborated with legends and nurtured new talent. His music reflected the changing times, yet it remained timeless. This is the story of Miles Davis, a journey from humble beginnings to becoming a jazz icon. We will explore his life, his music, and his enduring legacy. What is your favorite Miles Davis track, and why? Miles Dewey Davis III was born on May 26, 1926. His birthplace was Alton, Illinois, a small town with a complex history. His father, Miles Dewey Davis Jr., was a dentist. His mother, Cleota May Henry Davis, was a music teacher. The Davis family was considered well off for the time. They lived in a predominantly white neighborhood. This relative privilege did not shield young Miles from the realities of racism. He experienced prejudice and discrimination. These early encounters left a lasting impact. They fueled his artistic expression and social consciousness. Despite the challenges, Alton provided a nurturing environment for Davis's musical talents to blossom. His mother, a skilled pianist and violinist, recognized his potential early on. She gifted him a trumpet at the age of 13. This gift ignited a passion that would shape his destiny. Cleota Davis insisted on formal music lessons for her son. She enrolled him in music classes. His first trumpet teacher was Elwood Buchanan. Buchanan emphasized playing without vibrato. This became a hallmark of Davis's distinct style. By his early teens, Davis was playing professionally. He performed at local clubs and events. He joined the high school band. His talent was undeniable. He impressed fellow musicians with his natural ability. Davis's musical world expanded when he met Eddie Randall. Randall was a trumpeter and a friend of his father. Randall became a mentor to the young Davis. He introduced him to the burgeoning bebop scene. Bebop, with its complex harmonies and improvisational nature, captivated Davis. At 16, Davis received an offer that would change his life. He was invited to join the Eddie Johnson Band. This was a prominent touring band from St. Louis. His parents, initially hesitant, allowed him to tour during the summer break. This experience proved invaluable. Davis honed his skills alongside seasoned musicians. He learned the intricacies of performing on the road. He was also exposed to the realities of life as a black musician in segregated America. During his time in St. Louis, Davis crossed paths with Clark Terry. Terry was a renowned trumpeter with the Count Basie Orchestra. Recognizing Davis's talent, Terry took him under his wing. He provided guidance and encouragement. This mentorship proved crucial in shaping Davis's musical development. Section 4, New York City Beckons, a turning point. In 1944, at 18, Davis moved to New York City. His parents believed he was going to study at Juilliard, but he yearned for the vibrant jazz scene. He quickly sought out his idol, Charlie Parker. Meeting Parker and other legends marked a turning point. He began playing alongside his idols, developing his unique voice on the trumpet. New York City became his musical crucible. Section 1. Paying dues, the struggle for recognition. New York City in the late 1940s was a melting pot of musical talent. Competition was fierce. Young musicians like Miles Davis had to fight for their place. Despite his talent and growing reputation, Davis faced an uphill battle. He struggled to secure steady gigs and earn a living. He grappled with the realities of being a young black musician in a segregated society. Opportunities were often limited, prejudice was prevalent, clubs were segregated, and black musicians often faced discrimination and exploitation. Yet Davis persevered, driven by his passion and his determination to make his mark. During this period, Davis continued to hone his skills. He participated in jam sessions. He learned from his peers and mentors. He absorbed the energy and innovation of the New York jazz scene. He developed his signature style, characterized by his melodic phrasing and use of space. Section 2. Birth of the Cool. A new sound emerges. Amidst the challenges, Davis found his voice. He began to experiment with new sounds. He sought to break away from the frenetic tempos and complex harmonies of bebop. He envisioned a more subdued, lyrical style of jazz. In 1948, Davis's musical vision began to materialize. He collaborated with arranger Gil Evans. They formed a 9-piece ensemble. This group included musicians like Jerry Mulligan and John Lewis. They aimed to create a new sound, a departure from the prevailing bebop style. Their groundbreaking recordings at the Royal Roost Jazz Club in New York City marked a turning point in jazz history. These sessions laid the foundation for what would become known as cool jazz. This new style emphasized melodic improvisation, slower tempos, and a more relaxed, introspective mood. In 1949, Davis traveled to Paris for the International Jazz Festival. He was struck by the city's beauty, its sophistication, and its appreciation for jazz. In Paris, Davis found respite from the racial tensions and pressures of the American music scene. He felt respected and appreciated as an artist. He embraced the Parisian lifestyle, immersing himself in the city's culture and art scene. He formed a romantic relationship with singer and actress Juliette Greco. This experience had a profound impact on Davis, both personally and musically. Paris provided Davis with a fresh perspective. It allowed him to further develop his musical ideas. He returned to New York with a renewed sense of purpose and a clearer vision for his music. The 1950s marked a period of both triumph and tragedy for Davis. He signed a contract with Prestige Records. He released a series of critically acclaimed albums. These recordings solidified his reputation as a leading figure in the jazz world. He collaborated with Gil Evans again. They recorded Miles Ahead, Porgy and Bess, and Sketches of Spain. These albums showcased Davis's evolving sound. They incorporated orchestral arrangements and explored different musical textures. However, Davis's personal life was marred by struggles. He battled heroin addiction. He faced legal troubles and personal turmoil. Despite these challenges, Davis's musical output remained prolific. His artistry continued to evolve and flourish. He was on the cusp of superstardom. The world was about to witness the full force of his genius. The year 1959 saw the release of Kind of Blue. This album would become a landmark in jazz history. It is considered one of the greatest jazz albums ever recorded. The album showcased Davis's innovative approach to improvisation. This allowed for greater freedom and exploration within the music. Featuring an all-star lineup, each musician brought their unique voice. The impact of Kind of Blue was immediate and far-reaching. It popularized modal jazz and established Davis as a true innovator. The album remains a testament to Davis's genius. Section 2. Exploring new modes, freedom in structure. Following the success of Kind of Blue, Davis continued to push boundaries. He further explored modal jazz with albums like Milestones and Freddie Freeloader. These recordings featured a more spacious and relaxed sound. They emphasized improvisation and interplay between the musicians. Davis's interest in modal jazz stemmed from his desire for greater freedom within his music. He felt constrained by the complex chord changes of bebop. He sought a more open and expansive framework for improvisation. Modal jazz provided this freedom. It allowed Davis and his bandmates to explore a wider range of melodic and harmonic possibilities. They could create music that was both sophisticated and accessible. This period marked a pivotal shift in Davis's musical journey. It solidified his status as a visionary leader in jazz. Section 3. Bitches Brew, Fusion, and Controversy. In the late 1960s, Davis began to incorporate elements of rock, funk, and electronic music into his sound. This experimentation culminated in the 1970 release of Bitches Brew. This album was a radical departure from his previous work. It became a defining moment in the development of jazz fusion. Bitches Brew featured a large ensemble of musicians. They utilized electric instruments, extended improvisation, and studio technology to create a dense and hypnotic soundscape. The album was met with mixed reactions upon its release. Some critics hailed it as a masterpiece, praising its innovation and energy. Others dismissed it as being too commercial or too far removed from jazz tradition. However, Brew was a commercial success. It introduced Davis to a new generation of listeners. It cemented his reputation as a restless innovator, unafraid to challenge conventions. Section 4, A Legacy Forged, The Prince of Darkness. The 1970s and 1980s were a period of continued evolution for Davis. He experimented with various musical styles. He collaborated with younger musicians. He embraced fashion and visual art as extensions of his musical expression. He adopted a more flamboyant stage persona. He earned the nickname the Prince of Darkness for his enigmatic personality and his penchant for wearing dark glasses and stylish clothing. Despite his evolving style, Davis's commitment to innovation and artistic integrity remained constant. His later albums, such as On the Corner and Tutu, continued to push boundaries. They explored new sonic territories. They divided critics and fans alike. Throughout his career, Davis refused to be confined by expectations. He challenged himself and his listeners to embrace new ideas and to expand their definition of jazz. A catalyst for change. Davis's impact on jazz. Miles Davis's influence on jazz is immeasurable. He was a true innovator. He reshaped the sound and direction of the genre multiple times throughout his career. His impact can be felt in the countless musicians he inspired, the styles he pioneered, and the boundaries he broke. Davis's early work in the bebop era helped to define the genre. He later challenged its conventions with the development of cool jazz. This new style emphasized melody over harmonic complexity. It created a more relaxed and introspective mood. The birth of cool jazz marked a significant departure from the frenetic energy of bebop. It paved the way for new forms of jazz. This cemented Davis's reputation as a visionary leader unafraid to chart his own course. His experimentation didn't stop there. Beyond the trumpet mentoring future legends, Miles Davis was not only a gifted musician but also a respected band leader and mentor. He nurtured the careers of many musicians who would go on to become legends themselves. John Coltrane, Cannonball Adderley, Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter, and Chick Corea honed their skills under Davis's guidance. Davis's bands were incubators for innovation. His collaborative approach fostered a creative environment. This led to some of the most groundbreaking jazz recordings of all time. As Section 3, Style and Substance, Fashion as a Statement. Miles Davis was known for his impeccable sense of style. He used fashion as an extension of his artistry and personality. He favored tailored suits, Italian shoes, and stylish hats. His wardrobe was as much a part of his persona as his music. He understood the power of image. He cultivated a look that was both sophisticated and rebellious. He challenged the stereotype of the struggling jazz musician. He presented himself as a stylish and successful artist. Davis's fashion choices were often ahead of their time. He embraced trends from the African American community. He incorporated them into his personal style. He inspired countless others with his sartorial choices. He became a fashion icon. Section 4, An Enduring Echo, the Undisputed Icon. Miles Davis's legacy extends far beyond his musical achievements. He was a cultural icon who challenged conventions and pushed boundaries. His impact can be felt in jazz, but also in art, fashion, and beyond. He was a complex and often contradictory figure, known for his brilliance and temper, his sensitivity and aloofness. But one thing remained constant: his unwavering commitment to artistic integrity. He refused to compromise his vision. Miles Davis left behind a rich musical legacy. His most notable works include Birth of the Cool, Kind of Blue, Sketches of Spain, and Brew. These albums represent just a fraction of his vast and varied discography. They showcase his evolution as an artist. His music continues to inspire and influence generations of musicians and music lovers worldwide. He remains a true icon, a testament to the power of innovation, creativity, and the enduring spirit of jazz. Section 1, A Legacy Etched in Groove. The legacy of Miles Davis is a profound melody etched into the very soul of jazz. He was more than just a trumpeter. He was a visionary, a band leader, a composer, and a cultural icon who redefined the boundaries of a genre. His impact transcended music, influencing fashion, art, and social consciousness. From his early days in bebop to his groundbreaking explorations in cool jazz, modal jazz, and fusion, Davis never stopped innovating. He challenged conventions, embraced change, and pushed the limits of what was possible in jazz. He was a master of reinvention, always evolving, always seeking new sounds and textures. He possessed an uncanny ability to anticipate and shape the future of music, leaving a lasting imprint on generations of musicians. His influence is undeniable, a testament to his enduring genius. Section 2. The unfading melody of innovation. Miles Davis's influence can be heard in countless artists who followed in his footsteps. From Herbie Hancock to Terence Blanchard, his legacy shapes jazz. Davis's impact extends beyond music. He was a cultural icon who challenged racial barriers. Miles Davis left behind recordings that captivate listeners today. Albums like Kind of Blue and Bitches Brew are cultural touchstones. His music resonates worldwide, a testament to his genius. We thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel Music Lounge for more great videos. Until next time, keep discovering the stories behind